Hello, my name is Andra. Welcome to ACE, Andra Constantine Expediting, a channel where we explore New York City legislation and codes that affect our industry, mainly the construction industry and our industry partners. I'm doing a series about a new New York City legislation that is bringing hundreds of changes that will affect how we do business in construction from an expediting perspective, mostly, but it affects everyone. Owners, contractors, builders, architects, and engineers. So today I'd like to discuss the changes for general contractors. There's a new bill coming out, and basically, in a nutshell, it's going to do away with the registered contractor. In the past, the only requirement was a registration with DOB, a tracking number, and insurance. Now that registered term is being omitted from the code and it's being replaced with licensed. And there will be two levels of licensed contractor, limited and unlimited. So we're going to take a look at what that means, what the requirements are for each, and how it's going to affect you and when it's going to be implemented. So first, let me just segue into the plain language summary that is put out by the New York City Council that accompanies the full proposed bill. So let's go there first. Okay, here we go. Plain language summary. So it's intro number 2278. The bill title is A Local Law to Amend the Administrative Code of the City of New York and the New York City Building Code in relation to the licensing of general contractors. So the summary is as follows. This bill would require general contractors to be licensed by the Department of Buildings, DOB, in a manner similar to how other trades are licensed under DOB, and would prohibit any person from performing general contractor work unless approved by DOB. Applicants for permits from DOB must be licensed general contractors who are designees of approved general contracting businesses, or with respect to work performed by city agencies, the designees of such agencies. The bill would require applicants for a general contractor license from the DOB to meet certain qualifications, including but not limited to possessing a valid site safety training super card. So, very important to note. Like I said, once they're getting rid of the term registered, and now it's going to be licensed, you're going to need at a minimum a site safety training card. But if you're going to be an unlimited general contractor, then you will need site safety manager training as well. So we'll look into all of that. Let me just get into the intro. Okay, so there's also a lot of new definitions, and we already heard the term designee. So let's find out what a designee is. So let's read this highlighted part first, applicant for a permit. The applicant for a permit shall be now you see they're taking out this person who in brackets. So anything in brackets is being omitted. Anything underlined is being added. So in the code prior to this new issue for 2022, the applicant for a permit shall be, it used to say the person who performs work, or now it's going to say the applicant for a permit shall be the designee of the approved general contractor business that performs the work or retains a subcontractor to perform the work with respect to work performed by employees of city agency or designee such agency. Okay, and then they're giving us an exception, and they're basically taking out all these different descriptions of different types of licensed contractors or subcontractors. And they're just cutting all that out and saying permits for work required to be performed by licensees other than licensed general contractors. Okay, so basically they're saying this applies to licensed general contractors, not all of these other people. And let's find out what a designee is, because it's one of the new terms. So basically a designee is going to be the person designated by the contractor business on behalf of the business, but you can have more designees. So here are all the new terms they're introducing: designee, general contractor business, general contractor work, licensed general contractor limited, and licensed general contractor unlimited. So real quick, I'll let you just read this. I'll read it with you. A limited or unlimited licensed general contractor who has sole authority and full responsibility for all general contractor work performed in conjunction with a general contractor business or performed by employees of a city agency and for the supervision of all employees of a business or city agency to perform such work. So that's your designee. So what's a general contractor business then? A sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporation authorized by the commissioner to conduct general contractor work as defined in this section under a designee who holds a limited general contractor license or an unlimited general contractor license. The term general contractor business shall not be construed to mean a city agency that performs general contractor work. Okay. So let's see here. Licensed general contractor limited. So what exactly does that mean? Well, it means you can work on buildings that is not a major building. So that's going to be the difference between limited and unlimited. So the full definition, an individual who has satisfied the qualification requirements of this chapter for the limited general contractor licensed. We will see those requirements below later. Has been issued such a license and is authorized under the provisions of this chapter to perform general contractor work on a building that is not a major building, as that term is defined in section 202, and so on. And on a major building that is not subject to the scope of section 3310. Okay, so that's important. Chapter 3310. Safety. Now, a licensed general contractor, unlimited, is an individual who has satisfied the qualifications requirements of this chapter for the unlimited general contractor license, has been issued such a license, and is authorized under the provision of the chapter to perform general contractor work. So now, what's the difference? Licensed general contractor. You see, before it used to say general contractor, and now they're specifying licensed general contractor. So that is an individual who has satisfied the qualification requirements of this chapter for a limited general contractor license or an unlimited general contractor license. So they can use the term interchangeably, licensed general contractor. You can be either limited or unlimited, but then there's specifications to one or the other. Here they're going over the schedule of fees. I think it's interesting that they didn't include filing representatives. It's $480, by the way. They are not transparent about that for some reason. On their website it says $150, but you have to pay $330 plus $150, so that's $480. But we'll see how the city is looking to further restrict the ability of filing reps to work in conjunction with general contractors as well. So general contractor, again, they're taking out the term registration and putting the term license. So you see here, they're just replacing license for registration in all these sections of the code. So this is interesting. So duties and responsibilities. Licensed general contractors shall be responsible for all work performed in accordance with permits issued under the license and any associated work, including work performed by the subcontractors. So on the old PW2, we used to be able to check, is the contractor responsible for all work on this project, yes or no? Well, in this case, it's just a yes now, I guess. And then they're also going to have to maintain records of all of their subcontractors. So subcontractor information, maintaining records that include current information about all permits obtained and all contracts or all subcontractors performing work or on any project permitted or requiring a permit under this code, etc. And they have to submit it to the department within 24 hours upon request. And in addition to that, look at this submission. This is a whole new section. All these underlined sections are all new to the code. So they're adding this entire new section, submissions of plans to reduce rate of hazardous violations. The commissioner may require any licensed general contractor and general contractor business to provide the department with a plan to improve its rate of hazardous violations or to submit a formal site safety plan meeting the requirements of this code. The plan must be approved by the department and may include such measures as employment of a safety compliance officer. Now, there are some general contractor firms, big guys, that already have safety compliance officers. The small guys don't have that, obviously. But now you may have to, and it looks like this is now a new filing type, the plan that must be filed and include measures to ensure safety to reduce hazardous violations. Okay, now here's where it gets a little bit crazy. So it's going to define the requirements for licensed general contractor limited and for licensed general contractor unlimited. So basically, the unlimited is everything that the limited is and then some. So for the limited general contractor, meaning, again, what's a limited general contractor? Someone that can only work on minor buildings. So they have to have site safety training supervisor card, and they have to meet one of these requirements. Either they have to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited four-year college or university in the field of engineering, architecture, construction management, building construction / demolition, or a degree deemed substantially similar by the department and has at least 1 year of practical field experience in general construction on buildings. So now they want you to have either a bachelor's degree plus a year of experience or 5 years of practical experience working in a construction industry related field, and at least 3 of which shall have been in general construction on buildings. So out of the 5 years, 3 have to be working on buildings, and the balance shall have to be in or relating to engineering, architecture, construction, demolition, supervision, or construction, demolition, project management, or functions. So you have to have been in the construction industry for 5 years, but at least 3 of those have to have been actually general construction of buildings. Or you are a New York State licensed professional engineer or registered architect. Okay, so that's the minimum required to be a limited licensed general contractor. I don't want to give you a spoiler alert, but they're going to talk about how to convert if you are already a contractor. What happens if you're already a contractor? Do you just start from scratch, or do you get converted, or what? So they do talk about that. But here we go, licensed general contractor, unlimited. So to be an unlimited general contractor, meaning that you get to work on major buildings, you have to have the site safety training card, which they had supervisor training card, which you had to have above, plus successfully completed department approved 40-hour site safety manager training course. So that's the additional requirement. On top of that, you have to satisfy the qualification requirement for one of the bases above. So in other words, you have to meet one of these criteria, 1, 2.1, 2.2, or 2.3, plus have a site safety supervisor card, plus have a 40-hour site safety manager training course. So that's actually interesting. So, since they've implemented the site safety programs, we've had a lot of site safety companies crop up. What happens with those? Do they now just go work for general contractors, or do we just have more people that are cross-trained, or what? It's interesting to see it will be interesting to see how the industry parses this out. So in addition to all of those things, we did the site safety training, we did the site safety manager, we did the stuff above where we have a bachelor's degree and 5 years experience, and in addition to that, at least 3 additional years of experience within the last 5 years prior to application performing work on a major building. Okay, so they want you to specifically have worked on a major building. So they want you to have 5 years of construction experience plus 3 additional years working on a major building. So in order to be able to be licensed as an unlimited general contractor, you have to come in with experience having worked on major buildings. It says meet one of the following requirements. Okay, so it's either this one, or is a New York City limited general contractor licensee in good standing for a minimum of 3 years. All right, so that's similar. It's kind of the same thing. So you have either to have been a limited general contractor and have the site safety supervisor card and the 40-hour site safety manager card, or you can get these 2 trainings and have prior experience for 5 years plus 3 additional years working in a major building. This is just saying how it's going to organize, how you would organize yourself with designees. It talks about who the designee has to be and how many designees you can appoint. So here it's saying the designee has to be a shareholder owning 10% or more of the business. So they have to be vested in the business to be a designee for the business. Now, this is what I was talking about, because I know that just getting all this information about the requirements of what it takes to be a designated, to be a limited or an unlimited general contractor is kind of mind-blowing. But here they talk about how they're going to handle existing. So it's saying status of general contractor registration and safety registration numbers as of the effective date of the section. General contractor resignations and safety registration numbers that are effective as of the effective date of the section shall be automatically converted to a limited general contractor license with the full authority to file permits for the scope of work allowed by such license until the expiration date of such registration term. To be converted to an unlimited general contractor license, proof of the experience required by the above section shall be provided in a form and manner determined by the department. So in other words, everyone that's registered as a general contractor now can get converted to a limited licensed general contractor. But then if they want to work on general buildings and have the unlimited designation, then they need to provide all the proofs above that we just went over. And when does this come into effect? This local law takes effect 3 years after it becomes law, except that the Commissioner of Buildings may take such measures as necessary for the implementation of this local law, including the promulgation of rules prior to such effective date. So, again, it's going to become effective in 3 years, but they can make it effective whenever they want. That's it. I hope you guys, I hope I was clear and that you guys learned something and that this was helpful to you to just kind of summarize through it. And I'm going to continue to do some more of these series because there are a lot more changes. There's a lot to parse through here. So be patient with me and thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.